Zimbabwe is expected to become one of the world's biggest exporters of lithium.
Africa is rich in these resources.
Lithium can be found in Mali, Ghana, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Namibia.
Imagine a metal so tiny, so unassuming, that most people have never even heard of it. Yet, this metal is quietly reshaping the global economy, geopolitics, and the race for the technologies of the welcome to the lithium revolution. In the last decade, the world has woken up to lithium, the lifeblood of electric vehicles, the silent engine behind the renewable energy boom, and the ultimate prize in the race for green technology. And suddenly, Africa has become the center of attention. But why? And why now? The answer lies beneath the surface of countries like Zimbabwe, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Namibia, where rich veins of this white gold promise unimaginable wealth and fierce competition. Lithium isn't new. For decades, it has been used in batteries, ceramics, and even in the glass industry. But the lithium market as we know it today didn't exist until the world began the urgent pivot away from fossil fuels. The rise of electric vehicles, EVs, is a primary driver. Companies like Tesla, Volkswagen, and BMW need lithium to power their batteries, and their demand has exploded exponentially. Consider this. A single Tesla Model S battery contains around 12 kilograms of lithium. Multiply that by the millions of EVs produced globally every year, and suddenly the demand becomes staggering. Add in the need for grid-scale batteries to store renewable energy, and the world is facing a lithium hunger it cannot satisfy with its current supply. Africa, often overlooked in the global tech race, has become a lithium goldmine. Let's explore where this treasure is concentrated. Zimbabwe. Home to the Bikita mine, one of the oldest and largest lithium producers on the continent, Zimbabwe is often referred to as the lithium powerhouse of Africa. The country's deposits are primarily lithium-rich spodumene, a high-quality mineral ideal for battery-grade lithium production. Beyond Bikita, newer exploration projects in regions like Gwanda and pegmatite belts in the Midlands province are uncovering additional reserves, indicating that Zimbabwe's potential may be far larger than current production suggests. Analysts predict that if extraction and processing infrastructure scale up efficiently, Zimbabwe could supply a substantial portion of global lithium demand within the next decade. The government has been actively courting foreign investment, offering incentives to mining companies, while also emphasizing local beneficiation to ensure that some processing occurs within the country, rather than exporting raw materials. This strategy could position Zimbabwe not just as a major supplier of lithium ore, but also as a hub for battery production, adding significant economic value locally and securing a more strategic role in the global energy transition. Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. While globally renowned for its vast cobalt reserves, the DRC is increasingly being recognized for its lithium potential. Lithium in the country is primarily found in hard rock pegmatite formations, similar to those in Zimbabwe, often located in the mineral-rich provinces of Maniema and South Kivu. Although large-scale lithium production is still in its early stages, international mining companies are showing growing interest, attracted by both the quality of the ore and the DRC's strategic position in the global battery supply chain. Efforts are underway to map and explore untapped deposits, with some projects combining cobalt and lithium extraction to maximize economic efficiency. If developed responsibly, the DRC could emerge as a dual powerhouse, providing both cobalt and lithium critical for electric vehicle batteries and renewable energy technologies. Namibia. Renowned for its lithium-rich brine deposits, Namibia has emerged as a promising alternative to traditional lithium sources in Australia and South America. Key projects in regions like Caribe and the surrounding salt pans are attracting international investors, drawn by both the high lithium concentration and the country's stable political and economic environment. Namibia's brine extraction is less energy-intensive than hard rock mining, allowing for faster scalability. With ongoing exploration, the country could become a major player in the global battery supply chain, supporting the electric vehicle and renewable energy boom. Mozambique. The Montepuez region in northern Mozambique is emerging as a hotspot for lithium exploration, with significant pegmatite deposits already identified. International mining companies are conducting surveys and feasibility studies to assess the commercial potential of these reserves. While large-scale production has not yet begun, successful development could position Mozambique as a strategic new supplier of battery-grade lithium in Africa. Coupled with the country's improving infrastructure and access to ports like Nacala and Beira, Mozambique has the potential to become a key link in the global electric vehicle and renewable energy supply chain. Other notable countries, Mali, Ghana, and Botswana, have smaller but strategically important lithium deposits. Africa is not only rich in lithium, but also strategically located. Its proximity to European and Asian markets makes it an ideal supplier in a world racing to electrify transport and energy systems. The question now is, why Africa? Why now? Several factors have converged to make Africa a focal point for lithium. 1. Supply constraints. Elsewhere, Australia and Chile dominate global lithium production today. But geopolitical tensions, rising extraction costs, and environmental regulations have made companies look for alternatives. Africa's relatively untapped reserves provide an opportunity to diversify supply chains. 2. Rising global demand. Electric vehicle sales are projected to grow from around 10 million units in 2022 to over 100 million units by 2030. The batteries powering these vehicles need lithium. Africa is ideally positioned to meet part of this demand. 3. Investment opportunities. International corporations are investing heavily in African lithium projects. Companies from China, the US, and Europe are racing to secure long-term contracts, ensuring their access to this critical resource. 4. Political dynamics. African governments see lithium as a chance to boost economic growth and attract foreign investment. However, this comes with challenges, including governance, resource management, and ensuring that local populations benefit from the wealth beneath their feet. Understanding why Africa is suddenly so important requires a peek into the science of lithium formation. Lithium is most commonly found in two types of deposits: spodumene pegmatites, hard rock deposits where lithium is trapped in minerals like spodumene. Zimbabwe's Bakita mine is a prime example. These deposits require mining and chemical processing to extract lithium, but they yield high-quality battery-grade material. Lithium brines. Found in salt flats or underground aquifers, these contain lithium dissolved in water. Namibia and parts of Botswana have significant brine resources. Extracting lithium from brines is less energy-intensive, but can take months or years to reach market-ready form. Africa's geology is favorable for both types of deposits, making it an attractive continent for miners and investors alike. The competition for Africa's lithium is fierce. Here's a snapshot of who's involved. China. Chinese companies dominate lithium processing globally and have invested heavily in African mining projects. Their involvement ensures that a significant portion of African lithium flows to Asian markets. United States and Europe. Automakers and battery manufacturers from these regions are increasingly looking to secure African lithium, fearing over-reliance on China for processed materials. Private mining companies. From junior exploration firms to major multinational corporations, private players are aggressively acquiring land rights, conducting geological surveys, and planning mines. This scramble is not just about money, it's about controlling the supply chain of the future. Whoever secures African lithium will have a strategic advantage in the global energy transition. It's not all smooth sailing. While Africa has immense potential, several challenges could complicate the lithium boom. 1. Infrastructure. Many lithium-rich regions are remote, lacking roads, electricity, or ports. Building the infrastructure for extraction and export is costly and time-consuming. 2. Environmental concerns. Lithium mining can be water-intensive and environmentally disruptive. Pegmatite mining disturbs landscapes, while brine extraction can deplete aquifers. Communities and governments are increasingly demanding responsible practices. 3. Political stability. Some African nations face political uncertainty, which can impact mining projects and scare off investors. 4. Economic equity. Ensuring that the wealth generated by lithium mining benefits local communities is critical. Past resource booms in Africa have sometimes led to exploitation rather than shared prosperity. So why all the hype? Lithium is not just another commodity. It's central to the global shift towards sustainability. Without lithium, the electric vehicles, solar storage systems, and high-tech gadgets that define modern life wouldn't exist in their current form. By tapping into African lithium, the world hopes to reduce reliance on fossil fuels, accelerate electric vehicle adoption, secure a stable supply of battery-grade materials outside traditional sources. In other words, Africa's lithium is not just a mineral. It's a key piece in the fight against climate change and the race to a greener future. The economic potential for Africa. The lithium boom could transform African economies, just as oil reshaped the Middle East in the 20th century. Countries like Zimbabwe and Namibia are positioning themselves to benefit from royalties, taxes, and job creation. Consider this. Zimbabwe's lithium exports have already started generating hundreds of millions in revenue annually. If managed wisely, these resources could fund infrastructure, healthcare, education, and long-term economic growth. However, the key is governance. Without transparent policies, the lithium boom risks repeating the mistakes of the past, where resource wealth failed to translate into widespread prosperity. Currently, global lithium production is dominated by Australia, roughly 50% of global output; Chile, around 22%; China, both mining and processing; Africa, while currently contributing a smaller share of global lithium production compared to Australia, Chile, and China, is rapidly emerging as a game-changer in the market. Zimbabwe, with its established Bikita mine and expanding exploration projects, has the capacity to become one of the top 3 lithium exporters within the next decade, offering high-quality spodumene for battery production. Namibia's lithium brine projects, notably in regions like Karibib and the surrounding salt pans, are expected to scale up quickly, providing a low-cost, energy-efficient source of lithium to complement hard rock production elsewhere on the continent. Other countries, including Mozambique, the DRC, and Botswana, are actively exploring lithium deposits, signaling a potential surge in output from multiple African hubs. This diversification is crucial for global supply chains, as it reduces geopolitical risk and dependence on dominant players like Australia, Chile, and China. By tapping into Africa's untapped reserves, companies and nations can secure more resilient, geographically balanced supply networks for electric vehicles, renewable energy storage, and other critical battery-dependent technologies. The lithium story in Africa is only beginning, but its trajectory could redefine the global energy and battery markets. Experts estimate that by 2030, African lithium could meet up to 20% of worldwide demand, positioning the continent as a strategic supplier alongside Australia, Chile, and China. Countries like Zimbabwe, Namibia, and Mozambique are attracting significant international investment, while smaller hubs such as the DRC, Botswana, and Ghana are increasingly under exploration, creating a continent-wide lithium corridor that could transform Africa into a global powerhouse. However, the path forward is complex. Competition for resources is intense, with multinational corporations, state-backed enterprises, and private investors vying for mining rights. Technological challenges also persist. Hard rock spodumene requires energy-intensive processing, while brine extraction demands sophisticated water management systems. At the same time, innovation is reshaping the landscape. New extraction techniques, the recycling of lithium from spent batteries, and the development of alternative battery chemistries could reduce reliance on primary raw material, potentially affecting demand patterns. Despite these uncertainties, one fact is indisputable. Africa's lithium wealth has thrust the continent into the global spotlight, attracting not only investors and industrial players, but also governments seeking strategic advantage in the green energy revolution. How Africa navigates this opportunity could determine its economic future and its role in the global transition to sustainable energy. Why does the world suddenly want Africa's lithium? The answer is simple. It's scarce, it's strategic, and it's essential for the technologies defining our future. Africa's lithium deposits are a treasure trove that promises wealth, influence, and a key role in the global transition to a sustainable economy. But this is also a story of caution. How Africa manages its lithium resources will determine whether this mineral becomes a blessing or a source of conflict and exploitation. The world may be rushing for Africa's lithium, but the real winners will be those who balance ambition with responsibility, profit with sustainability, and speed with foresight. In the end, lithium is more than a metal. It's a mirror reflecting the future of technology, the economy, and our planet. And Africa, long overlooked, is finally holding the key.